How are you all doing today? Normally we would be painting or reviewing something, but I thought it would be fun to show you guys some of my art books or the art of books. I have a few books and magazines. I also have a bunch of how-to books and inspirational books that have to do with art or creative types. If you guys would like to see a list and a video of all of those, and we can go over all of those, let me know in the comments below. I think it would be fun. Maybe I'll get one in the works. Thank you all so much for your support and commenting or subscribing to my channel. It really does help our community grow and helps me out to continue doing what I love for you all. Anyway, without further ado, let us dive in. All of these books are the art of books. Some of them are from films, some of them are magazines of artists or about watercolors. And I just thought it would be fun to go through the different types of books I use to help me when I am going through art block. These really are able to give you some inspiration, maybe even trying out ideas from the book to help boost you into doing something of your own. And you never know what it could inspire. So our first book I'm going to talk about is actually my newest one. My husband surprised me with this one. I was so excited and had no idea. I didn't even know he ordered something, but it is The Art of Moana. Right away you can see how beautiful the cover is, even the back. Now I do have a wish list on Amazon that is open to the public, and you guys are welcome to look at that to see what other books I am hoping to get eventually. Let's dive into what I love about these books and why I think they're great to help with inspiration. I mean, right away you can see on the cover how beautiful it is, how soft it is. Whenever Disney or Pixar does a film, like the Disney shorts or the Pixar shorts, they're experimenting with something that they're wanting to learn more about, whether it's color versus shadow, the values, and emotion. So each of these little short films, while they're fun for us, they really are a learning tool for them, and it really helps them discover and figure out things for their next films. I'm not going to go through every page, but I've started reading this one. I haven't made it all the way through yet, but I liked how they talked about learning about the cultures, learning about the different islands, and they actually pulled from different islands for the boat and the artwork on the clothes. I really found that fascinating, that they try to go off of, you know, the cultural nuances of the different islands. Here they have some storyboarding. I loved how they even created some models. This one, it is a clay and paper and toothpick sculpture. In this, they even show who the artist is for each part. If you didn't know, there's not just one person drawing, say, Moana throughout the entire film. It's actually multiple artists are drawing maybe a portion or a scene from the movie. So here you get to see, you know, who are the artists drawing which character or which portion and what they use. So like graphite, digital, and like we saw that other one, it was the model. Here's some more digital work. Some beautiful landscapes. And they do a lot of character development, so they start, you know, from one spot and figure out how is each character gonna look. And the first drawing they do is not necessarily, here's one's a little bit of Maui. You know, originally he did not have hair, and they eventually decided to put hair on him. So it's definitely a process, you can see here, of figuring out who these characters are going to be, and I guess even deciding on the voice actors and their personalities. And some more beautiful storyboarding. I could look at this book all day. My next book, a lot of you have probably seen the Mandalorian. Not everybody, but a lot of you might have. I loved the artwork at the very end of the film. Did any of you stay and watch after each episode and just look at the artwork afterwards? I loved it. That was fascinating to me that they created such beautiful artwork for it. And I didn't realize how much went into it as far as like drawing and sketching and planning the planets and the communities and everything else. I mean, as I think about it now, it makes sense that they would go to paper first before they create, you know, a whole mask and makeup for these characters. But the only thing I was a little disappointed on was, if any of you saw, or even if you go back and watch The Mandalorian and you look at the end cuts, the artwork has like a grungy look to it. And it doesn't have that in these books, which kind of, at first I was like, did I buy the wrong books? Did I get the wrong thing? Because even this one, you know, it's a digital rendering of what happened in a part of the film, but it doesn't have that grungy look to it that the artwork in the end of the film had. And it took me a while to realize, yes, it is the right books, but they just don't have that grunge look, which it kind of disappointed me. It's still beautiful. I still love the artwork. It just was different. It was just not what I was expecting. So here they even have a little bit of character development of Grogu, or Baby Yoda, and how he looked and how they decided to go with the look that they did. So you have a lot of things about the characters, what happened. It's a really fascinating book. It's very beautiful. We're big Star Wars fans, and we love The Mandalorian. So I have the first one here, and then I have season 2's artwork. So we'll just show you a few pages from that. Can you see that all right? So even the characters here, some of the action scenes and what happened, they talk a lot more in depth about why they did the things that they did, the choices they made. So some beautiful pieces, even some storyboarding in here. Do we all remember this scene? Anyway, it's another beautiful book. Can't wait for the next season. So, there's that one. I will link all of these books in the description so you can look for them. Before I finish with this book, I think one of the things I wanted to mention about the art of books that I really like from the movies is that this really kind of is a highlight or celebration of the artists and what they did and what they're able to do in the movies and for the films, because they don't often get to show people what they did for a film because it is all copyrighted, so they can't show it outside of that. So this is a way for them to have a little bit of a highlight and allow people to see what they did, what part of this creation they had. Our next book is The Art of Watercolor. I really liked this book. It shows you many different techniques from different artists. So you start in and you go over, you know, your color wheel and your materials and drawing techniques. And then you have some step-by-step watercolor pictures, and I'm sure you could follow along if you wanted to practice some of these techniques. And it talks a little bit about the author or the artist. So here it goes through what they did for each piece, creating the texture, the mood, the feeling, just how they would go about starting a painting from the first washes down to the details. Here's some special effects or techniques they used with salt. Here's another artist, a different style. This one, she's talking about color harmonies, wet and complementary colors. Look at those blues and oranges in this piece here. So some fun. They did a lot of negative space painting in this one. This artist does animals. So even going over how they would do fur, white and black. I do have a video as well that shows you how to do white and black fur. If you have not seen that one, you can go over there and watch that. Here's some seascapes. How beautiful the skies are and the waves. It's always amazing to me what you can do with watercolors. So this is a fun book for that. It goes through a lot of different techniques from, you know, landscapes, florals. This one here is, they use Chinese brushes and how to get the strokes to create these beautiful florals. But it has many different techniques. It's a beautiful one to have. Again, I will link it in the description below. Okay, now these next ones I have a lot of, and it's actually a magazine subscription. I love these magazines. These are great for, like I said, when you are struggling, when you need some inspiration. These are some of my go-to. I just will go through and look at them, and inevitably I'll be inspired by something, and it will maybe spark an idea, or I will try to emulate something, and then it will continue to help me progress and get out of that rut that I might be in. So this is called The Art of Watercolor, the art magazine for watercolorists. I actually have some in English and some in French. This is actually a French watercolor magazine. If you didn't know, my husband is French, so I do have a lot of French books. And it's okay if I don't understand everything in them, because I get a lot of inspiration, again, from the art. I feel like these are a very quality magazine. Most of it is about the different artists and the shows. Here is the president, Janine Galizia. In this one, they're showing some different art exhibits and shows throughout the world that are international. You get to see different artists and their work. These are some amazing paintings. These are paintings, they are not pictures. Love these ones. You get to see a lot of artists, maybe even why they do, what is their inspiration for their pieces, which also in turn helps me figure out my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Do I have a reason? You know, what is the purpose of why I'm creating the piece I am, or am I just creating it just to create? So that is helpful. I mean, look at that cover. Look at that painting. So here they actually talk about how Escoda brushes are made, the process that is gone through to create each and every single brush, which is amazing. In one of them, I think they talk about the process of how they make Arches watercolor paper. Very fascinating. I mean, look how big this painting is. Amazing. Amazing pieces. Here's Mike Kowalski. These are some fun paintings. I loved those ones. Beautiful pieces. I mean, look at those paintings. This is Versailles. A painting of Versailles. The detail is incredible. Anyway, I have many of these magazines. It really helps to see how other people might treat watercolors. I mean, you see the differences just in these three even. And there's just so many different ways to go about creating art. There's no wrong or right way. You just gotta create. And see, I get inspiration from things like this and think, you know, what drove them to create that? Why was this subject important to them? What about it spoke to them? With the way the light was hitting her and the ambience around her, you know, what was it that struck this emotion? What draws me to specific paintings? And so looking through all of these magazines helps me to, I guess, get out of myself. Look at what other people are creating and maybe not being so stuck in what I create and trying new things and maybe experimenting with the way somebody else did something, and maybe I'll stumble and find something that I enjoy doing that I would never have thought of otherwise. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're able to, subscribe. It does help me out, and we can build our community together. If you liked this video and liked reviews or art haul videos, check out these ones over here, and I will link them as well in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!